I can't help but we may be experiencing some technical difficulties. Are we good? Okay, we're good. Sario said we're good. Thank you to the big station for allowing us to do this. But like I was saying, I think we need to start that conversation about where we're going next. Because I've been listening to some things that are sad to me, and we're talking about our prison system, but our educational system, some of our caregiving services, we've lost that level of passion and compassion for their fellow man. And I think that there's some young people out there. I see a lot of my old students that are out there working at Double Quick managing. They're nurses. They're going to school. They're CAPAs. They're AKAs. Sorry, folks. But we're gonna keep going with the show. But on the same page, we want to keep you on the in the conversation. And what I want to know is, I want from you to call in and let us know some of the good aspects, the good assets that we have here in the Mississippi Delta and in Greenwood that we need to build on, because we get out here, we got people like myself and Mr. Barr. He has dreams of being an elected official, and several of our other peers have gotten out there. Real conversation. Check this out. Get connected. Build relationships to last forever. Success in business is built on personal networks, kindness, tolerance, and service.
Hello?
Will bring you repeat business. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I was just calling in. I was just calling in to let you know that I think something's wrong with Mr. Barr's microphone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've been going through some trials and tribulations here trying to bring this broadcast, but I'm sure we're going to get them worked out.
Can you not hear
him?
Can you not hear him?
No, I can't really hear nothing you're saying.
You don't hear me either?
I can hear you, Mr. Pierce.
Oh, okay then. We may
so it's just my microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Mr. Bob.
Okay, then.
That may just be my phone. I just turned my radio down.
Okay, well, okay. I probably need to get closer to it then.
Yeah, okay then.
All right. What's on your mind today, caller?
All right.
Oh, he just called and let us know that.
Hey, so appreciate that.
That's right, because that means that gives us validation that someone's listening.
That's right.
And I know someone's listening. I know my young people are listening, so I'm least likely to tell them something wrong. I won't spend my time, passing out bad information, because good information is meant to be passed. Withholding information from a person is just as bad as doing something to them. So I think we need to, give information, let kids know what's coming, so that they will be more serious about what's going on, because they have no idea what we know. They think they know everything. So we're going to have patience with them, talk to them, not at them, because they're smarter than ever now. So we're going to have to respect them as such.
That's right. Real Conversation with Sean, brought to you again by Come and Go Grocery, 1500 Carrollton Avenue, Greenwood, Mississippi. They have the 2 for $10 T-shirts and 18-ounce beers for $1. Also by Bentus African Hair Braiding, 1300 Jasper Neely Drive, Grenada, Mississippi. Their number is 404-207-3004. Give them a call. You have to. I like what you said about talking to young people and not at them. Mm-hmm. That's a learned ability. A lot of people don't understand how to relate to children. How can you reach someone? If you can't understand them, if you can't relate to them, there's no way that you can reach a child or even an adult, anyone, if you cannot relate to them, relate to their situation. That's the number one key, is knowing how to deal with people. You deal with people on different levels. You don't deal with people on the same level, because what works for one person might not work for the other one. And that goes from elementary school, high school, college, all the way up throughout your life.
What Strib, and he taught me a whole lot. What Coach Stribling told us was, I can't treat everybody alike, but I can treat everybody right. As according to your personality. Right. If I needed a cussing out, he knew if you cuss me out and tell me, what I'm doing wrong, I'm gonna come out of that, I'm gonna come out shooting.
Okay.
I used to always see him pet other guys, talk to them sweet, love them up a little bit, and that gave them confidence. And I always wondered why he wouldn't talk to me like that until Miss Vassar told me, she told me, she said it was a close friend of his. She said, I'm always having to talk about Sean Pearson whenever we talk. And I didn't know that, but it touched me, and our relationship became, better over the years, and I completed my senior season, man, and we did well.
Yeah, I tell you another great asset Greenwood has. It's the youth sports program, the youth athletic program.
Yeah.
The youth football leagues, the youth baseball leagues, the youth track leagues, softball leagues, whatever.
Correct.
You see, that is an asset that we completely look over. The generation before now didn't look over that. The people who had us behind Dickerson, the Mr. Clays and Mr. Dixons,
right,
and Mr. Youngs and Dino,
Kai Jones.
Kai, people like that. They had they knew that, okay, these children have nothing else to do. This is something that we need to invest in. And that's something that our political system needs to invest in, because if you look at successful programs all across the country, they invest in their youth athletic programs. And for all these youth athletic programs around the city, for the majority of them are supported privately, and that should not be.
Well, I just recently, shouts out to the Mississippi Delta C5 Braves. We started practice on yesterday. Our T-ball, 4 to 6 years old. My coach pitch, 7 to 8, and my girls softball, my third grade girls softball, coach pitch team. We came out and practiced yesterday, and it was my first time out there in a long time, and that it helped me realize what I'm supposed to do. I got away from it for about a year, and I missed it, and when I went out there yesterday, I thought about the radio broadcast, and I thought about what's worth it more than to invest my time in Mississippi Delta C5 funds into my young people, or to bring this broadcast. And I'm not a professional beggar. I'm not one to get out here and try to solicit monies or things like that. But I was hoping that our commentary would be appreciated as such. And that's how you get your gratification from that. So anyone interested in supporting the show, please give us a call, and we really appreciate your participation. And anything you want us to broadcast over the air and talk about, whether it's a subject or whether it's an event that you're having, we'll be glad to do so. So back to what we were talking about, our good things that we have. We had our great high school sports teams. We've been having good football for a long time now. It's almost commonplace that we're going to have good football in the Mississippi Delta, and we're going to be at the forefront of the conversation, and as well as basketball. So I think that's one of our assets that we need to expound on. But it seems to me that if people don't have an interest, or a person that they know have an interest in a particular area, that's why it never gets any energy toward it. We must empower our people that are interested in these areas, and make sure that they have a stage that they can perform on and give back on, and we may be creating jobs, because our people need healing right about now, and there's going to be plenty to do when it comes to tutoring our kids, empowering our young adults, taking care of our elderly, because if things are going to go on like they're going on now for a long time, we got a long road in front of us. So we need to be trying to put some obstacles in the way of this, and create a domino effect of success here in the Mississippi Delta, and put our feelings aside, and we can get back to bickering at any time.
Well, yeah, if we keep going like this, there won't be a road, because there won't be anything here. A Real Conversation with Sean, brought to you by Benter's African Hair Braiding, 1300 Jasper Needle Drive, Grenada, Mississippi. The number is 404-207-3004. Give them a call. Also by Come and Go Grocery, 1500 Carrollton Avenue, Greenwood, Mississippi. They have the 2 for $10 T-shirts and 18-ounce dollar beers. Give them a call. But yeah, stimulus. You know, we've talked about the assets. Now we need to talk about we need to talk about a solution to getting more assets. You know, we talked about that. We have some, but not as many as we did. So what are solutions to acquire more assets? And I always like to use the word stimulus. You know, I told Mr. Ratliff one time when right after the bikers national event in Tunica, you know, they had people picking up trash making like $1,500, $2,000 in a week, picking up trash. And I told him, I said, that's stimulus. You know, for someone to bring that to this area and to be able for people who pick up trash can make $1,500. So imagine what the people at the door were making, or another person doing this. And these were all people in the Mississippi area. So what if we could have events and things of that nature, you know, here in Greenwood, bring stimulus? You see, we don't have a basis for business here, you know, because we have become an unbusiness-friendly community.
Because of our perception of what we put out, you know, our perception, you know, our reputation, you know, over the years, we're known. We need, our people are being overlooked because of the high-profile things that are going on, and they themselves are the most important commodity in it all,
right?
Because they are the important factor in the whole situation. And I think that we could have such said events if some of our relationships were better up top. We're so you know, I hear the language, and I often hear this language. I've been hearing it for like 10 years now. You can tell when a person doesn't like another person in whatever system, whatever setting it is, which ours is supposed to be. In a professional setting, everything is supposed to be manicured and proper. But we tend to hear a lot of negative, you know, vibes.
And that's a misconception.
It is.
That's a misconception. The workplace, the professional place is the least place to be proper, you know, in most cases.
Right. But, you know, I just feel like our examples need to be better. We need to, just as we preach, we need to try to do a little of it.
That's right.
And, you know, because we always have been judged. We're going to be held accountable for what we do and what we say. So I think that other people in positions of power should as well, because they come across real vindictive and angry. That lady, I don't talk to that person. You know,
right.
and you would think that, you know, when I was taking speech, I was really listening to my teacher. And they told us how you want to captivate your audience, and if you want your point to get across, what to do, your body language, and how you're supposed to speak, and
right.
your proper etiquette. So, you know, I'm kind of taken aback with some of the things that we see in the public.
Yeah, that's a big effect on, again, our assets, because businesses pay attention to that. If you have politicians bickering in public and open and, you know, making scenes and things like that, you know, that's reflected. People see that, and businesses see that, and, you know, no one wants to live in a community where, you know, even if your politicians can't agree, you know, how do you expect anything else, you know, to function right below that? Because, you know, it rolls downhill. Right. You know, if there's a problem at the bottom, it's because it came from up top.
Okay.
So, you know, that has a big effect on your business community, which are your assets here, you know, along with many others, along with the people. Because, you know, you run people off, you run businesses off, and you end up with what you have. And, you know, to continue on a road of decline, eventually you get taken away for something, it's going to be gone.
Well, we want to stop that from happening. Like I said, we're willing, and we've picked the ball up. We're willing to invest. We're willing to take a chance. We're not going to be some solutions. What I think we need to do is, before I think we have some difficulties, build relationships to last forever. Success in business is built on personal networks. Kindness, tolerance, and service will bring you repeat business. Greed will only trip you up. Understand that money matters, but only as a means to freedom, access, options, and security for the future. Learn how to make cash work for you. So,
yeah.
In reading that, I bring it back home. You know, that's all we're talking about, salaries. That's the words you hear most about the situation, salaries, intimidation, and things of that nature. So what I think we need to do is put our efforts, and our parents need to put their efforts into making sure our children, when we get ready to take that MCT2 test, we knock it out the park. That's the only remedy. We want to make sure that our behavior problems be addressed. We want to make sure that we address all of the ills so that we can get, prepare to move forward. And the process, I've been told the process takes a long time, but I'm getting older, and I want to see it happen, and I'm gonna do what I can to make it happen. And but I'm not gonna be lying with it. I'm not gonna jump, head first into something. If nobody's behind you, you have to be smart at some point, right, and then focus on yourself. But
it's it's just it will get better. But Real Conversation with Sean brought to you by Benson's African Hair Braiding, 1300 Jasper Needle Drive, Grenada, Mississippi. The number is 404-207-3004. Also by Common Go Grocery, 1500 Carrollton Avenue. They have the 2 for $10 T-shirts and 18-ounce beers. But yeah, just moving back to our subject. We're actually moving back to what you just said about addressing the behavior problem in schools. As we all know, behavior problems, they do start at home. So as I say all the time, and I'm very repetitive in a lot of stuff I say, the behavior problems at school won't be handled until the proper people in leadership make the proper steps to help home,
right,
to overstep your boundaries.
The people who are willing to go into the neighborhoods and get their hands dirty,
right,
empower those.
Home is not going to do it.
Right.
So until they realize that home is not going to do it and that they have to make that extra step to go in.
School is home.
Even if they don't want to sometimes, I say all the time, you force people to do what you want them to do. So, don't force them to do what you want them to do for your benefit, also for their benefit too. If you know that this is something that's going to benefit them, put the proper laws in place that's going to force them to do that if they're not going to do it, because it's going to be beneficiary for them. But that's not going to change. Behavior problems in school will not change until higher officials and higher administration puts things in place to where they have to help home.
Hey, that was the truth. And what I want to add to that is you have to be genuine when dealing with young people. People look at me all the time and ask me how I do it. How do you do it? It's not work for me. It's easy for me. It's first nature for me to want to help. It's first nature for me to want to see a child have a positive experience in whatever he or she is doing, whether it's school or in a sporting event.
That's right.
So that's what you got to have. You got to have a genuine approach when you're dealing with young people, because they can smell.
They can smell
the fakeness.
They can
all the way around the corner. You'll be surprised how, if you think you run a game on them, you're not.
They already picked.
They letting you make it.
That's why you can't get a reaction out of them. That's why you can't get them to do anything that you want them to do and need them to do, because they can see straight through you.
They hold secrets.
know. I'm talking about even children from 5, 6, 7. They know from me working at the mentoring center. Those children know who's really there for them. Right. Of course, they're gonna give you a hard time. You got to win their love.
Right.
You got to earn their love. They don't have to earn your love.
They're the purest people in the world. They're the purest people in the world. Children.
Right.
lifetime, they had a tight-knit family.
Right.
So and sometimes you can't just save it for just your family. Mm-hmm. You got to reach outside for people who don't have that kind of support and surrounding.
Most definitely.
And I got mad appreciation for people that got family. Mm-hmm. Because I know how important it is. It gives you a sense of confidence that you can have. I've witnessed so much confidence from the people I know that they got somebody that has their back, right or wrong.
That's right.
So when you got that kind of backing, it's easier to sleep at night.
It is
versus a person like myself who knows when the chips fall, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I know I can't go looking and crying and ducking around. But what I got to do is face it and hold myself accountable and use my intestinal fortitude and what I've learned and come out of it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we have to do. And going and relating that back to what we're talking about today. Assets and solutions to fix assets. Assets that we have. Than that we have had, and what can we do to bring more in? If you're just tuning in, we're sorry about the technical difficulties early. We had a delay, but we're on now. And anyway, like I said, we're talking about what can we do to add to what we have and to bring in more assets to the Delta or to capitalize on the ones we already have. And another great asset that I believe we could have is, I believe that we do have is our downtown area. You
can give us a call, 453-2401. We welcome your call. Get in on the conversation. Hear a real conversation with Sean and myself and Mr. Barr.
If you've been calling, we haven't answered, we apologize.
Oh, no, I don't think we've been beefing.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
I just making sure. But, our downtown area, we have a basis to be one of the greatest entertainment, places here in the Delta. We already have the structure for it, is what I was trying to say.
Right.
We have a great structure to be a great late night release, entertainment for this entire
community.
Right. It's already been beautified on one side, and then on the other side of the track, you have, independent business owners who are doing their best to also, beautify their property, open up business. And the best way to do that is to capitalize on it. We have to invest in what we have.
We got to let them know.
We have to invest in what we already have. We have a lot of assets here that we could invest in. We're just not doing it. And I like to call it corruption, because a lot of people know that these assets are here. But again, like we always say, they don't focus on them because it's not beneficial to them.
We got so much smoke screen, though.
It's not beneficial to them. So the only few assets that we have are the only ones that people focus on. The only ones, I guess, that people want. But if we were to take our eyes off that, look at potential, and say, hey, we need to focus in on this. This is how we're going to get back to where we were,
Well, I think,
this is how we're going to heal ourselves.
I'm in total agreement with you. I've always said we have one of the smartest workforces here with little or no work to do. But at the same time, we can create our own jobs.
Okay.
Like I said, we got to heal our people. We got things that we're facing that are going to have results, going to have repercussions that we haven't sat down and tried to address yet.
Even think about.
Our system is bogged down. The most important story nowadays is not young people out there fighting on the corner or jobs. But it's our education system having a hard time, trying to get their infrastructure together, So we're facing some things that the kids have nothing to do with. They're just students. They're just doing. They have no choice in this matter.
Not only kids, but grown people too.
Grown people as well. So
the focus is, it goes to show you where our priorities are when this is where our focus is when we have so many other problems. Right. We got so many problems, but you read stories in the Commonwealth, and if you read the Commonwealth every day, you would think that Greenwood was a.
We got a column.
We do? Okay.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on, man?
All right.
Nothing much. I just wanted to share what's a really good asset of Greenwood. that Boys and Girls Club of America, we got one, the Mississippi Delta Boys and Girls Club. I think it's been with the town for maybe about 50 to 70 years. But I just heard from somebody who works with them that they'll be shutting down in 2 weeks.
Oh man,
and
you know what, Carla? That was one of my dream jobs that I always wanted since I've been working, with young people.
Yeah.
And that's to direct a Boys and Girls Club. I've been through all kind of training and things like that. And I do have the passion, and I've always thought it was underused. I've always thought that I had another vision for it, and I didn't think that people said much about it. I didn't like the way it was, the upkeep on the outside. It was several things that I would have addressed that I thought needed to happen to make that place bustling with young people, and sometimes you got to put the right people in the right seat on the bus.
Exactly.
And
I thought it was already closed.
Yeah.
What happened was, I remember back in the days, they used to get at least 170 to 200 kids a day in there.
Packed.
They had a takeover. It used to be the Boys and Girls Club of Leaf Flow County. Now it's the Mississippi Delta Boys and Girls Club. And since then, the kids started getting charged. And, now you go in there now, you see 6, 7 kids around. It's terrible, man.
I don't see anybody. I mean, I see grass all over. Like I said, I thought it was already shut down because of the upkeep on the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like a place that's in business. And that's horrible that we're losing something like
in
that.
2 weeks, they say they're shutting it down. Y'all might want to get involved.
I used to take kids over there, and we were playing flag football in that back lot back there.
Yeah.
And I thought that land had so much
potential.
What we call potential to be a mecca for recreational activities.
It used to be a baseball field.
For our youth. I just see a whole plethora of things that we should be doing with that property.
Right.
That's not been done.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Hey, I think we have another caller. Hey, we appreciate you, man.
Anytime. All right.
Caller, you there? Caller, you on there?
No, I think we live right now. We live on the big station. We had a few minutes left. Call back. Give us another try. Come on in.
It's on. Try it now.
Caller, you there? Caller, you there? Caller.
Okay. All right, I don't think we got him.
Oh, back to what that caller was talking about.
Deep.
That was deep.
That was super deep.
And that goes back to what we were talking about.
Yep. Another asset.
Things like that happen when we got our focus somewhere else.
Right.
Caller, you on there?
Yes. My first question is, I'm listening to everything you guys are saying, but I would like to know, where is the faith? You know what I'm saying? We got to have faith to believe that these things can happen before these things can happen. I hear a lot of questions and not a lot of answers, and I have a lot to say. It's like leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Mm-hmm. So let's stop pointing the finger. Let's be strength-based, show respect, have hope, empowerment, and let's be non-linear. Mm-hmm. The holistic view of the whole thing is home, health, purpose, community, and self-direction.
True.
Courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of the others are stiffened. The words of the reckless pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise bring healing.
That's what we try to bring. That's what we try to bring. Those words exactly.
Faith is dead without works.
Without work.
You can have faith all day, but you got to put some work into it.
That's what we do.
And when you're putting work into it, and you have people who are not putting work into it, then a lot of times that has to be called out. You have to put the work into it. You just can't. People sit back and talk about this, talk about that, but if you're not working, if you're not putting forth an effort to get that done, to which you have faith in, then you need to move out of the way. And if you will not move out of the way,
that's when your strength come in. That's being individualized. When you're being individualized, you're showing your strength, your cultural background, your experiences to engage in, the worth of an individual. So when you say, doing my work, I feel like I'm doing work now.
You are.
I'm calling in to support the people, to lift the people up, to let them know that there's still hope out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the creativity, it's the desire of things that we have to look at. It's not all about if you don't have a job. This is my job now to deliver the word that I was asked to bring today.
That's right.
You know,
you
never know what may touch a person's life. Just a small thing of kindness can be the biggest gift in a person's life.
You're right.
Thank you, caller.
We so appreciate it.
Thank you for your call. Hey, Real Conversation with Sean.
That's how I go.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 4:30 to 5. We got T-ball, coach pitching, softball practice. Mississippi Delta C5 Braves, 4:30 for T-ball, 5:30 for my other age groups. Thank y'all for listening. Pray for us, because we're going to continue to bring this broadcast. But like I said, we want to see some signs of it. We want to feel some ripple effect from what we're doing. So get in contact with us. We're on Facebook. Tell them about it.
Check out our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Real Conversations. All our shows are recorded. Check them out at YouTube at Real Conversations. Real Conversations. I want to thank you for the show, and we'll see y'all later. We out.
Thank y'all.
All this, I hear from the bag,